course, the planet's 5 clinically proven healthiest, leanest, and longest living pockets of population have unlimited access to these bioceutical-rich plants. It's part of why blue zones like Okinawa, Japan have the world's lowest obesity rates and why diabetes is almost non-existent despite consuming double the carbs we do here in North America. It points to why women and men living in Sardinia, Italy, and Ikaria, Greece have an uncanny ability to fight flus, colds, and infection while living well into their hundreds. And why women in Nicoya, Costa Rica, or Loma Linda with access to these bioceuticals are much less likely to die from strokes, heart disease, or suffer through terrible diseases like dementia. Now, the only problem was, Mary told me these plants almost refuse to grow on North American soil, and that, well, for someone like you or I to get their hands on them, well, it'd be next to impossible unless you were a plant scientist. In Mary's hands right now were hundreds of tiny seeds, the same ones she was holding in that picture from 7 years ago in Sardinia, Italy. See, while Vitis vinifera starts off by turning the dial down on hunger receptors to eliminate cravings while working to halt fat cell absorption, the Italians call it Aerole di Cura, our heart hero, for its ability to act as power scrubbers for your arteries, swiftly removing plaque while reducing blood clots for athletic blood flow and squeaky clean arteries. And while she swore the next plant, Graviola, was the reason her MS and arthritic symptoms had vanished, a landslide of proof now confirms its power to eradicate inflammation and block pain receptors at the cellular core, while at the same time coming to the rescue of dying cells by destroying harmful pathogens. Then there was Mary's personal favorite, Camellia sinensis, which is why she was able to have her cake and eat it too without a second of guilt. The Okinawans actually call it their cheat leaf because despite their love of sweets while adding ample amounts of carbs to every meal, they routinely test for perfect blood sugar levels and walk around almost 80 pounds lighter than we do. Clinical testing also shows it's one of autophagy's greatest allies for its ability to unleash your body's most powerful fat loss sequence, lipolysis, inviting old and unhealthy cells to feast on fat while zapping mortality-filled free radicals on the way to dinner. Then there was the combination of lycopene, cat's claw, and burdock from Nicoya, Costa Rica. Scientists actually call this trio nature's groundskeepers for their ability to prune away the damaged parts of the cell that invite chronic disease. And get this, it then biologically bags up the debris and damage left by pesticides, herbicides, and trans fat for rapid elimination, all while leaving a polished path of immunity signaling enzymes in its wake. And last but not least, Mary had managed to find the crown jewel of bioceuticals, quercetin. With unlimited access to this plant, it turns out Mary had armed each one of her 4 billion cells with the planet's most extensively studied super nutrient ever. Like kryptonite for fat, quercetin not only supercharges autophagy by eliminating toxin-hoarding fat cells, but then systematically blocks the creation of new ones as well. And if that wasn't enough, quercetin goes into overtime in trouble spots by igniting thermogenesis, forcing your most stubborn fat cells to meet their fate while you sleep. And while it goes to work with sprinter-like speed on fat, it also infuses Olympic endurance at your cellular core by armor plating it with mitochondrial biogenesis, shuttling sugar into muscles for instant energy instead of fat storage, while creating a blanket immunity so powerful that scientists across the globe are funneling their faith along with millions of dollars into quercetin as an effective tool for pandemic-proofing this planet. Pretty crazy stuff, right? So while it was becoming obvious that my sister was looking and feeling like a brand new woman on the outside, the best part was it was now crystal clear that it was all because she'd evolved into a new woman on the inside as well. Despite every thinkable odds stacked against her and without a second of starvation or sweat, Mary had harnessed the power of the planet's most powerful bioceuticals, supercharged autophagy, and literally transformed from the inside out. And more importantly, proving beyond any reasonable doubt that we all have the ability to crack the longevity code by safely and all naturally activating our very own intracellular defense systems, equipping our cells and ourselves with the unparalleled metabolic intelligence needed to biologically seduce fat cells into a state of self-elimination. And yet, just when I thought everything was perfect, Mary hit me with this.
Well, there is one slight problem, though.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll let you see for yourself.
As Mary turned her computer around, I was shocked to see it was as though someone had scooped up an acre of rainforest and dropped it directly into her house. Now looking at a dining room that was half greenhouse and half laboratory, Mary confided in me. The endless hours spent strategically sourcing and then paying to ship these plants from 5 different corners of the world had not only put a massive dent in her credit cards, but the majority of her mornings were spent searching through their thorny and tough exteriors, plucking the most potent buds and seedlings, then sanitizing and grading the roots, and finally running only the most vibrantly colored leaves through 3 food dehydrators for days on end, and then eventually finding its way into this thick, chunky, and sometimes thorny concoction. I mean, does it at least taste okay?
It tastes like I'm drinking a farm.
There's gotta be a better way.
I've tried everything. I mean, it would be a lot easier if we could pack it into a little pill or something.
Yet, as an industry insider, I can tell you right now that over 90% of North America's most trusted vitamins and pills in your cabinet right now grab their ingredients from China, India, or the Philippines, where their backward standards on safety and sourcing turn a blind eye to stuff like heavy metals and toxic fillers. I knew if we were going to do this the right way, there was only one option. So I put out the call to the owners of every prestigious award within the realm of supplementation, led by a team of microbiologists and backed by every top level accreditation. These guys were the unmatched industry standard who prided themselves on rigorous testing and precise sourcing procedures that went miles beyond the competition. The best part was, through their 6-stage extraction process, not only did they say they could squeeze Mary's Precise blend into an easy-to-swallow vegetarian capsules, but they agreed to infuse our blend with their own patented stack of naturally potent super nutrients, including Panax ginseng, arabinogalactan, beta-glucan, turmeric, and vitamin C for unmatched immune renewal, detoxification, and all-day energy-driven fat loss. And in addition to safeguarding against plateaus and cravings by regulating hunger-inducing leptin and thyroid levels, their medley had garnered the title of Best Day Ever Blend after users reported time-release euphoric bursts of mood and energy by safely enhancing happy hormones like epinephrine and serotonin, all while enhancing the delivery and absorption of Mary's original blend. After showing me the science, the safety, and metabolic superiority that their blend would bring to ours, I knew that if combined together, this multi-layered matrix of bioceuticals had the ability to grant each aspect and every function of the human body to work at its highest levels for anyone who had a human body. And after 7 months of rigorous testing, we had done it. The team had finally harnessed the power of nature's own Nobel Prize-winning single-second solution, proven to unleash limitless fat loss and even the most crippled metabolism. Then, after testing, our last hurdle was showing that the new formula had the power to recreate Mary's results for others. Yet, thanks to Mary's transformation pics and these astonishing videos going viral across the web, we had thousands of SOS messages from helpless yet hopeful men and women asking how she did it and if she could help out in any way. The only thing was, our little bottle of Last Chance Lifelines came with a pretty hefty price tag, which was taken care of by a second mortgage, along with convincing my wife to put the brakes on this pricey top-to-bottom renovation. So with me in the doghouse and only 480 bottles to spare, we selected the most weight loss resistant men and women over 40 for whom nothing else had ever worked. Whether they had 30 pounds to lose or 130, type 2 diabetes, turtle slow thyroids, or multiple sclerosis like Mary. 22 of our hopefuls that have even been failed by gastric bypass surgery. But on November 5th, 2018, almost 500 people received their first samples and became the first of many closely monitored test groups. And while they waited with impatient optimism that I'm sure was met with equal parts skepticism, for me, any speck of uncertainty had been eliminated, because now, with the compelling proof and chances of success for the first time ever stacked in their favor, I knew any possible chance of failure had been eliminated for them as well. Which is why I wasn't surprised for a second when I began getting tagged in posts featuring single-week success stories that looked like these, and time-bending transformations of everyday people managing to crowbar a year's worth of progress into 30, 60, or 90-day windows. Within days of starting, our entire team was knee-deep in emails, along with hundreds of phone calls and video chats. Social media was eventually set ablaze by those who'd been clawing away at One Last Chance for years, only to find out that it was already, and always, inside all of them the whole time. The total weight loss by the group was a staggering 26,432 pounds, which was split almost evenly, with the men averaging 44 pounds and the average lady torching a whopping 56 pounds of fat from her frame in the shortest time possible. Husbands saw the return of wives once saddled by the depression and daily defeat, now sharing a life of energetic joy reassembled with a new zest and lust for each other. Wives were exhilarated to see the upgraded revival of the stronger, more confident, and caring versions of the men they married, finally infusing that first date feeling to even the most ordinary days. Doctors witness their patients' most crucial health markers restored, stopping the need for side effect stuffed medications while safeguarding them against the surgeon's knife. My favorite part was watching sons and daughters get back to energetic, happy moms they remembered from childhood. We got tons, and we still get tons of emails from kids, young and old, thanking us for bringing back all those super dads out of retirement, enabling them to once again don the cape they'd hung up so many years before. I'm sorry, this is just where I get that emotional. Because like me, 480 families were reunited with their person, and since that initial test group, almost 90,000 other people and other families have shared in that same reunion. So if you're ready to unleash the same single-second process proven by award-winning doctors and scientists and rub out any chance of failure so you too can replace a life of suffering with one of salvation and continued success on and off the scale, the way God intended, using the solution Mother Nature flawlessly designed, all inside the body you rightly deserve and are destined to have. And it's time to celebrate, or as we like to say around here, Cellubrate. As you can probably tell, I'm a little excited and extremely proud to introduce you to the world's first all-natural treatment scientifically proven to target the root cause of excess belly fat, accelerated aging, and weakened immunity using nature's most powerful metabolic magnification sequence that's won not just one, but 2 Nobel Prizes. Physician trusted yet prescription free, Cellubrate's multi-layered matrix of 24 power plant-based extracts sourced from and celebrated by the planet's leanest, most disease-resistant, happiest, and longest living pockets of population is the planet's only all-natural bioceutical blend designed to holistically rejuvenate your cells so they can quickly and safely escort you towards your healthiest weight. And the best part is, it's as easy as 1, 2, and well, that's it. Cellubrate literally does all the heavy lifting for you, which is why within seconds, yet without a second of starvation or sweat, your expertly manufactured, ethically sourced, GMO-free, and easy-to-swallow capsule will not only be launching nature's own counterattack against aging, while reversing countless years of dieting-induced damage, but you'll be unleashing the full potential of your metabolism's most powerful fat elimination sequence, so you too can look forward to the effortless and automatic weight loss, childlike energy, and relentless immunity as you join the growing army of Cellubrate success stories. And that's the thing, while we're extremely grateful for all the global attention Cellubrate's gathering on the world stage, and while we're more than honored by all the praise from the scientific and medical community's most respected health and longevity publications calling Cellubrate our generation's most comprehensive weight loss and immunity renewal supplement ever produced, what we're most proud of, and of course what should excite you the most, are the 80,000 plus men and women who found themselves in the same position you are right now, who made the once-in-a-lifetime decision to embrace nature's own Nobel Prize proven single-second solution, now living a metabolically privileged and newly extended life inside the bodies that make them truly happy. And now with almost 100,000 success stories and counting, the one's a lot easier to swallow than skinny teas or trendy fad diets, isn't it? Which is why this time, it feels a little different, doesn't it? All those goosebumps, all those little butterflies in your stomach. That's your conscience and common sense finally confirming that you're only one step in the right direction away from securing the life you deserve inside the body you crave. Between the simplicity that just makes sense, the ocean of evidence that stacks the deck in your favor forever, along with science and medicine's highest awards, all those people, all that proof, you're starting to realize, and you better believe, that their experience, their new lives, you've got to realize that looking at them right now is no different than you looking into a crystal ball of your own future. One that's encapsulated with memories and moments that feature you living your own life of unlimited abundance, fueled by spring-fed happiness, all within the body you have a God-given right to. And after a 30-year losing battle with her weight and type 2 diabetes, Carol, a baker from New Jersey, would have said I was crazy if I told her she'd lose 12 dress sizes, all while sampling her own sweet and sinful little delicacies, finally becoming medication-free for the first time since her 20s. Daryl and Sandy from Syracuse would have thought their eyes were playing tricks on them if you'd showed them these pictures of them renewing their vows, a collective 144 pounds lighter. Speaking of walking down the aisle, if you told me my sister would be exchanging vows with the same doctor who gave her a 6% chance of survival, I'd say you were nuts. And if you told Mary she'd be having a baby at 44 with the same Dr. Dreamy she had slipped into a size 6 for that night, well, Well, she'd tell you were making up fairy tales. But like Mary and almost 100,000 other people have already proven, all of us have a fairy tale ending waiting for us, and with Cellubrate on your side, you're quite literally seconds away from making that dream a reality. So let me ask you, how much would that be worth to you? Exactly. It's priceless, right? And I know because I've been there. Well, in that moment, I would have handed over every penny I had to take it all away, and well, I pretty much did. A quick look at my first invoice and some quick math will tell you I fit the bill for those first bottles that were, well, they were literally worth their weight in gold. But luckily, those first success stories began to snowball, and as I'm sure you can imagine, during this pandemic, as reports of autophagy's immune-enhancing effects made it to the media, the demand for one small company's product began to snowball as well. So now, thanks to the thousands who made the decision to share their success, along with all the praise from some of the world's foremost health and longevity publications, combined with record-breaking 5-star reviews, thankfully Cellubrate's last 8,000 customers have only paid a quarter of the initial cost. And well, even though a quick look at all those reviews, along with all the praise on social media, will reveal that a $249 bottle of Cellubrate is 75% off, saved them thousands on unneeded and expensive diet foods, insurance premiums, and medications, while finally rendering their gym memberships obsolete, I still wanted to make Cellubrate as accessible as possible to everyone who deserved a second chance. Drop the price as low as we could to ensure that, well, to ensure that saying yes to yourself for once was a complete no-brainer, and more importantly, so that no one has to go through the ordeal I watched my sister endure. So that's exactly what we've done. And as you'll see in a sec, for today only, we've removed any and all obstacles, including price, that stand between you and that fairy tale ending. Because, well, when you get a little older in life, you begin to understand that it's not about the money, and you start to realize that time is really the only currency that matters. And with Cellubrate, even though you're literally moments away from buying more of that time, more priceless minutes, days, and decades inside the body you desire, alongside the people who love and depend on you, I also feel you should be rewarded, or I guess even reimbursed, for taking the time with me today to follow the science, take action, and finally make what I promise you'll look back on as one of the most impactful decisions of your entire life. So, with that in mind, we'd like to credit you for that time and give you another $180 towards Cellubrate, allowing you to gift yourself your first bottle for just $69. And while the other guys who have teams of accountants and a bottom line to answer to would tell me I'm stupid for offering Cellubrate at a negative profit for the next few moments, my motivation for actually losing money today is that when you've lost all the weight over the next few weeks or a couple quick months, when you fall in love with the way you look again, or maybe for the first time ever, and again, this is totally up to you, but if you like, do me a little favor and snap a pic of that new you with that empty bottle of Cellubrate and show the world that anything is possible. And again, obviously you don't have to do this, but even a little post or simply telling a friend may not only change their life, but as so many of us have found out, you might be saving it as well. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing. Because the research and all the new evidence, and now over 88,000 success stories, have already proven that taking Cellubrate consistently for 3 to 6 months delivers the unlimited momentum you need to reach your goal as rapidly as possible, I never, and I'm sure you never, want to find yourself at the bottom of an empty bottle of Cellubrate, wishing you had made a more dedicated long-term commitment to yourself, right? Which is why, while today's special presentation is still running, you'll have the opportunity to get your very first big one under your belt this very second by getting yourself a 3 or 6 month supply with giant discounts attached that'll save you up to $570 or even $1,200 versus ordering through our website, where prices are unfortunately scheduled to double due to the overwhelming demand for Cellubrate's key autophagy signaling compounds. And on top of that, you gotta think, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you're over 40 with more than 10 or 20 pounds to lose, or even further away from your healthiest weight, it makes sense that it may take more than just 30 days to undo the last few years or even decades of damage from dieting, right? And it really does become a pretty easy decision when you think about those 4 billion aging cells in their current state of deprivation, now thirstier than ever for the speed healing effects of autophagy. And well, plus, you'll sleep a lot better tonight with the precious comfort knowing that you secured all the Cellubrate you need right now by getting a full 90 or 180 days worth for an additional 70% off while you still could, finally biologically guaranteeing that you realized your dream body in record time and, well, most importantly, stay there. And remember, Cellubrate was carefully crafted by people who demand perfection while insisting every step of your transformation is held to the diamond standard of success from start to finish. which is why I've also instructed my team to safeguard this very first step in your journey by making it extremely easy, enjoyable, secure, and even more affordable to order Cellubrate right now. What I mean is I love the convenience of ordering online, but like you, I hate all the added charges, the annoying yet necessary admin fees, along with all the sneaky subscriptions we've all been paying these days, right? So first off, it'll feel pretty good knowing that I'm paying today's admin fee for you, and as always, with Cellubrate, there's never any of those sneaky monthly subscriptions the big guys sneak in there on over 65% of your orders these days. None of that BS. And finally, when you choose your money saving option from the table below and hit the add to cart button after selecting your upgraded package, you'll safely proceed to our 7-tier security encrypted privacy fortified order page that looks just like this, where your information will be Fort Knox safe. That's a big one. And finally, and I feel this next part is super important because, well, even though your success is literally guaranteed by an irrefutable scientific law, backed by the process that owns not just one, but 2 Nobel Prizes, and despite being undeniably confirmed by an army of men and women who, just like you, who've already proven that anything is possible, well, I just wanted to give you some more peace of mind, knowing that you'll be in complete control at all times, and that by saying yes today, quite frankly, prearranging your success is also backed by a 100% satisfaction, no questions asked, 60-day money-back guarantee as well. That means if you're not able to look in the mirror over the course of the next few weeks and be 100% proud of the person staring back at you, and if the look in their eye doesn't confirm you've made the smartest decision of your whole life, send it back. And that goes for absolutely any reason you can think of. If your weight, your health, your confidence isn't dramatically restored, if your doc isn't blown away by the leaps and bounds you've made at your next checkup, listen, I don't care if you don't like the look of the label when it shows up. You're the one in complete control this time. So just let us know anytime in the next 2 months, and our extremely accessible 24-hour customer service team will issue you an immediate, no hassle refund. Because remember, we're not a big company, and unlike the other guys, our reputation and this team's livelihood depends on us delivering on each and every pledge I've made to you today, which is why we've erased all the risk, removed any and all obstacles that stand in the way of you saying yes to Cellubrate, yes to yourself, and yes to the body you're biologically entitled to by fixing the one problem holding you back from the life you truly desire. Because the truth is, today you have the opportunity to immediately exit the path you're currently on that you now know, and as you no doubt experienced, is littered with danger and defeat. At this moment, you have the opportunity to say no more to traveling that path that ends way before it's supposed to, and instead say yes to a new path. Take your very first step towards the body you deserve, along with a freshly extended life filled with the moments and memories that are rightfully yours. And when you think about it, that is by far the most important part about saying yes today, because by the time the dust settles on this whole life thing, in the end, it's those moments and memories we're left with that are the only things that truly matter. And I think you and I can both agree that the key to walking that path hinges on the action you take during a few key decisions along the way. Decisions like this one, and moments like these, where a simple yes answer has the power to instantly change your path and allow you to collect all those happy souvenirs of a life well lived, a life that's now been guaranteed to last as long as it's supposed to. Because I think by now it's become obvious that saying no to this or no to yourself today, hesitating, or even saying I'll think about it is the same. Well, it's the same as saying I'll consider walking around blind for the rest of my life, and I'll let the people around me watch my confidence, my health, and my relationships fall like dominoes, falling faster and harder with irreversible impact as my cells continue to age. Where you pretend playing lifetime prisoner to a body you never planned on inside a body you hate is totally okay with you. And while you're in no way responsible for getting tricked into traveling that path that looks more like a minefield, it is your responsibility and obligation to all those who love and depend on you to take action today and say yes to the simple step that has the power to fill all your tomorrows with a reflection that makes you truly happy. A tomorrow filled with boundless energy and unlimited freedom, where you're not only as good as your last weigh-in, and you're not wrapped with guilt the moment you look at a cookie. And instead, a tomorrow where the proud look on their face confirms why they fell in love with you in the first place. All because you took complete and effortless control of your weight, your metabolism, and your health today. Today, by saying yes to yourself for the first time in so long, you're not only unlocking Mother Nature's most powerful metabolic gift with freight train momentum, but you're saying yes to being there to unlock more of those precious moments and memories for them as well. Yes to experiencing and even help deliver those moments and milestones that give meaning, purpose, and magnitude to their lives as well, which not only means being there to blow out all the candles on a lot more birthday cakes, but it means being there to help them blow out theirs too. Life is a fight for those moments and memories, and I'll tell you, once you stop fighting for what you want, What you don't want will automatically take over, which is why it's time to say yes to Cellubrate, and yes to more days with him or her, more nights around the fire, many more mornings around that Christmas tree for all of you, which, by the way, also means more s'mores, more ugly Christmas sweaters, more bad dad jokes, and a lot more turkeys, and of course, a lot more of their steps tomorrow, all because you were brave enough to grant yourself a second chance today by taking your very first step right now. Now, I can't do it for you, but I want you to let those words hit your heart and then follow it onto whatever path you choose to take. Thank you for your time today, and hopefully I see you on the other side.